The movie starts with Drew and his girlfriend Hannah arriving at his father's mansion. It's his dad, the billionaire tycoon Charles Abernathy's 75th birthday. For the first time in 2 years, all of Charles's children have been called home. Drew's siblings are also there. The twins, Malene and CJ, both CEOs, and the youngest, Cammie, a social media influencer. It's clear from their interactions that the family is full of tension and old grudges. The mansion is eerily empty. Charles has sent all the staff away for the night because he wants it to be just him and his children. He's surprised to see Hannah since the invitation was for family only, but she brushes it off, saying she wanted to surprise him with a gift. That's when Charles drops a bombshell. He calmly announces he won't survive the night because someone is coming to kill him. He says he made ruthless enemies on his rise to power, and now they're back for revenge. His plea to his children is to protect him until morning. If they succeed, his massive fortune will be divided among them. If he dies, all the money goes to the Abernathy Foundation. The siblings are shocked and don't know if he's telling the truth or playing a twisted game. Charles tells Hannah to leave because this is family business, but she refuses. While Malene and CJ think it's just another one of their dad's dramatic stunts, Drew, Cammie, and Hannah take the threat seriously and decide to search the house. Cammie heads to the wine cellar, but gets distracted by the wine, and Drew shows Hannah the antique room. In the cellar, Cammie gets locked in by her brother, CJ, as a prank. She's spooked by a low growl and a shadow she sees moving in the darkness, which suggests that her father, Charles, might not be crazy after all. Meanwhile, Drew and Hannah confront Charles upstairs, but he only repeats that they wouldn't believe what's happening. In the game room, CJ sees a glass tip over and pool balls mysteriously rearrange themselves, unnerving him. Cammie, still locked in the cellar, is recording a video for her social media when she sees a dark figure in the background. After shrugging it off, she's shoved from behind into the wine pool, where she drowns. Malene joins CJ in the game room and, ignoring the bizarre events, suggests they use their father's mental breakdown as an excuse for a hostile takeover of his empire. Drew and Hannah are worried, though, because Cammie has been gone for too long. They find her body floating in the pool. The group is shaken. CJ blames himself for not protecting her, but Malene quickly accuses Hannah of killing Cammie for a bigger inheritance share. Drew furiously defends Hannah, and a fight breaks out until Hannah asks a chilling question. What if the killer isn't one of them? What if something else is in the house? They tell Charles what happened, and he is heartbroken but refuses to open his door. He warns them that things will only get worse as midnight approaches and reveals that the thing hunting him is not human. Charles reveals that the spirit of a person he wronged years ago has come to kill him. He quickly changes his will to give Cammie's share of his fortune to Hannah, which enrages the twins, Malene and CJ. CJ grabs a gun and locks his father in the library, convinced that Hannah is a schemer. Drew and Hannah go to search for the spirit, but discover that Cammie's body is missing. Hannah panics and tries to escape through a window, but it won't break. Drew tells her about another way out through the antique room. Meanwhile, Malene feels a ghostly presence in her room and sees an image of Cammie. She tells CJ that their father's acceptance of Hannah, unlike a boy she once loved, makes her believe Drew and Hannah are trying to replace them. They decide to get rid of the couple. In the antique room, Drew explains that his mother believed his father's collection of strange objects was cursed. An invisible force attacks Hannah, and when the lights go out, they see the ghost for a moment. They run toward Charles's room and, seeing the vault door open, think he went inside for safety, but it's a trap. CJ locks them inside, planning to let them suffocate. The twins feel relieved, but then hear their father knocking and see a dark shadow. Footprints appear in the hall, and an invisible force grabs Malene, lifting her into the air and dragging her away. CJ follows her to her room, where he finds her standing in front of Cammie's portrait, which is dripping with blood. An evil figure emerges from the painting, and in a panic, CJ shoots Malene instead of the spirit. Her body then vanishes. Filled with guilt, CJ frees Drew and Hannah from the vault, not telling them he was the one who trapped them. He accepts his responsibility to face the spirit, which he believes is a result of his family's mistakes. He has only one bullet left. However, the spirit shifts its focus to Drew and Hannah, who flee into a locked room. Inside, they discover a hidden chamber filled with occult items, confirming Hannah's suspicion that Charles made a dark deal. The entity corners CJ on the top floor. He jumps, but the spirit catches him, transforms into Malene, and drains the life out of him. With midnight approaching, the demon grows stronger and hunts Drew and Hannah. They break into Charles's room, demanding answers. He finally reveals the truth. The Abernathy family had lost their fortune. To regain their wealth, Charles made a deal with a demon of greed named Mammon. In exchange for wealth, Mammon would take Charles's soul on his 75th birthday. However, after his wife died, Charles's greed shifted to creating a legacy. He made a new deal with the demon, his bloodline in exchange for his own life. This is why he gathered his children tonight. They were brought there not for a reunion, but to die for him. Drew, who thought he knew his father better than anyone, was crushed by this revelation. But before he could process it, Charles pulled out his gun and without hesitation, shot his own son, point blank. Drew collapsed instantly. Charles coldly muttered, "I warned you to leave the house, but you chose to stay." Then, like a man possessed, he raised his gun at her too. Hannah bolted, barely escaping his shot. She stumbled outside, hands shaking, and spotted CJ's discarded gun. One bullet left. When Charles came charging at her, she didn't hesitate. She fired. The bullet hit him, but it was already past midnight. The deal was broken. Breathing heavily, Hannah stared him down, and with tears streaming, whispered the truth Charles never knew. She was carrying Drew's child. The Abernathy bloodline wasn't ending tonight. Drew had wanted to tell his father as a birthday gift, but fate twisted it into tragedy. With the contract broken, the demon came to collect what was owed. Charles's body writhed as the creature claimed him, his screams filling the night. In the end, his greed had damned him. By morning, the head of security returned and unlocked the door. Hannah walked out of that cursed house alone. She got into the same car they had arrived in and quietly told the driver, "Take me home." She had lost everything: Drew, the future she dreamed of, and the family she thought she could be a part of. None of the fortune, the mansion, or the Abernathy name mattered to her. All she ever wanted was Drew. And just like that, the story ends. Thanks for watching.